Tiffany at a different chick farm and orchard. So today we just got from FedEx our delivery of from Johnny Seed. It is organic field peas for shoots. Now there are lots of different peas that you can buy. There is shelling peas, which means you don't want to eat the outer layer, the green part, because it just doesn't taste very good. It's,
you can,
yeah, it'd be tough. Rabbits probably would eat them. Humans, we don't. It's just too stringy. So then there is sugar pea or sugar snap peas and snow peas. Those you can eat, the whole thing. That's how you would want to eat them. Very good, very tasty. One we forget and we neglect is the shoots of peas. Now, last year when we were growing our shelling peas and our snow peas, we would actually go through and snap the tops of them off and eat the shoots because they tasted like peas. You have that wonderful fresh spring taste, but you don't have to wait for the pea.
It's a mild pea flavor.
Yeah.
Generally. It's pea, so, it's just mild.
But very good, and they're very nutritious, but it's great to add to your salad. And a lot of Asian dishes, they do actually use the pea shoots in their dishes also. So what we are going to do, we have decided to purchase these peas that were specifically formulated for shoots. Steve's going to show you right here. Now, you can let them go and produce vegetables, peas themselves, but they're not going to taste real great. And I mean, you can eat them, and they taste good, but they're not as good as a lot of the varieties you're going to have. So we bought a huge bag of these, and what we're going to start doing...
Because we just had some the other night. Me and Tiffany, for our date night, we had a salad that was made out of, sad to say, partially store-bought greens and partially greens off our farm. We had to buy the spring organic salad mix, but then we added our...
tot soy.
Tot soy.
We actually had some small pink celery we cut up.
Yep. And some beet greens, some Detroit dark red beet greens that we used. And we used probably way more than more normal people would. We probably used a half a tray of pea shoots.
Yeah, it was good though. So we really enjoy eating pea shoots, and that's one of those things you don't find in a grocery store, just because it's one of those very delicate items, and there's not enough desire for it. If stores were to buy, what they're required from a commercial retailer, then there's a good chance they wouldn't sell them. They would actually lose money on that product. That's the good thing about dealing with a small farm like us. If we don't sell it, we eat it. We can it. We process it, something or another.
We'll give it to a local food bank or something.
Give it as a donation. So there's a lot of things that a small farm can do, whereas a grocery store or a large commercial farm would not be able to do, which is why we are able to offer such different varieties and different vegetables and fruits and different things in a farm.
And
hence
because we enjoy it.
Yeah, hence the name A Different Chick. Because we like doing things a bit differently around here. So, what we are going to do, we're going to take these small seedling trays. Now, they're not very big, about an inch or so, inch and a half maybe. And we're going to put some of our potting mix in here.
This is technically our germination mix.
Okay, our germination mix.
You could use a potting mix, but they're not going to be in here long enough to need the nutrients from a potting mix.
Right, so it kind of defeats the purpose, and like you said, you just don't need that extra nutrition. We're going to get it right here. Now, pea shoots you can actually harvest several times, unlike a lot of microgreens. You can actually harvest it. They say 2 times, but I've had a lot of people say that you can harvest them 2 to 4 times.
And we'll probably do 2 to 3 because we're using a small space to do this in, and it's in our germination room that we use for our seeds and plants and grow room, so we can get plants ready for our customers for spring and summer. And so we can't take up that much space, but we can take up enough to do a half a dozen trays a week. We're going to start with 2 trays a week, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
And obviously, if the demand goes up, we'll do more.
So, what we do here, and I'm just going to use the scoop that we use for our soil. This is actually a chicken feed scoop or a cattle feed scoop or whatever. But and when you spread these out, you are looking for it to be, and you spread it out by hand, but I'll do a little bit of scoop. You don't want none stacked on top of each other because it defeats the purpose. Now, if they are, it's not the end of the flipping world, but Tiffany will take and spread these out a little bit by hand, and if she needs more, we'll throw a few more in there.
I think you're good on that.
Well, you want it packed. We want it wall to wall. You want wall to wall seeds because they don't need extra space to grow. And so you can maximize your growing space by getting a seed everywhere a seed can go. Now what we will do with these is we will water them, and then we will stack them on top of each other and put a weight on top of them to keep them pressed down. Also keeps from getting vermin in there. You don't have no vermin getting into your seeds that way because rats and so forth would love to get a hold of a nice tray of pea seeds.
So as you can see, this is basically full. There's actually a lot that are over each other, but we're not going to worry about it too much.
Nope. Do the best we can.
Yep. So this is our first time growing them like this, so we'll see how it goes.
It's the first time we've grown them to sell. We've grown them for us, but we're looking to move into growing more for us as a healthier option and a quicker option for salad contents and to add flavor to the salads. I am not one that just likes a lettuce salad. A lot of people enjoy a lettuce salad, lettuce, just a little bit of dressing on it. I'm not that person. My salads need flavor. They need eggs or cheese or so on and so forth. So, and we like pea shoots. All of us in the family do. So the pea shoots will work out quite well for us. So I'm gonna let Tiffany take that one to the sink and water it, and then we'll show you what we're gonna stack, and then on the top you can, for weight, and you can do, and we will be doing more of these. You can do stack them a half a dozen high if you want to, and once you get down your germination schedule on when they're going to germinate, then you can, kind of how fast you got to keep an eye on them. But basically, just check them every day, and if you check them every day, you're going to be good. And when you start seeing them germinate, just go ahead and unstack them, get them under light. But for right now, they're going to be in the dark and under these trays, so the light's not getting to them, and the weight will help hold everything packed down so that they have good soil to dig into and keeps the soil down. But then as soon as they germinate, as soon as we get those sprouts coming up, we're going to unstack these and get them under light. Now it's artificial light that we're going to be using. That way they'll grow faster, and we'll be able to do more with them. So
do we put any soil on top, or we just leave it like that?
We'll leave it just like that. Now you can put soil on top, but there's really no need. It's not necessary. Some people do it one way and some people do it the other. And we have always, up to this point, done it with soil on top. We've planted them in pots and just do, if I had to just run away with it, but I just did a batch you can't hardly see here, but these are a 200 cell tray. So that means they got 200 individual cells in them. We use these for peppers and tomatoes and everything else. I just did peas in these. And so we just did, I either did it in the 200 or the 288. We got a 288 also. I'm not sure which one it was. But we just did peas in that, and we've harvested pea shoots off of those. Now those peas, we're harvesting the shoots, and then now they're getting ready to go in the ground in our high tunnel. So we'll have early sugar snap peas. because Tiffany hates sugar snap peas.
We actually purchased some off of the grocery store the other day because I wanted my salad and my vegetables in it, and I just really, really wanted a sugar pea, and so I bought it. And actually, I've never bought sugar peas at the grocery store before. I've always just had what I've grown, but I was really craving them, so I just had to. And I tasted them, and it was disappointing because it wasn't mine. It didn't taste as good. They had a slight bitter taste to them, whereas mine have never had that bitterness to them. So,
I enjoyed them. She's a little pickier.
Yeah.
These are from Johnny's, and you can, as Tiffany touched on, you can use virtually any pea for shoots. They'll all have a little bit different flavor. Some of them are more decorative than others. If I remember right, the dwarf gray sugar pea is very decorative. It has I think a purple flower. So a lot of chefs love to garnish their dishes with that one. And we'll probably get into that one a little bit later. We was going to order this order, but we decided instead of buying 2 small bags, we'd buy 1 large bag so we can really get this up and running for us and our customers. As you can see here, it's just organic field peas. And so we're looking forward to this. This is a 25-pound bag. If you're doing this on a small scale for your family, you don't need a 25-pound bag unless you're all eating an awful lot of pea shoots. Buy you a pound. A pound. Tiffany, you got a pound bag of peas over there, don't you?
Well, I have. Let's see.
That we just got in. You got a pound and what? 5 pound and. But show you the difference in big 25-pound bag. That's a lot of peas. And Tiffany's getting some of the other ones over here so we can show you different sizes. So, you don't have to put all that investment out front because this was a lot of money. This 25-pound bag of peas is $90, wasn't it, Tiffany?
I think it was.
I think it's $90 for that. Now,
so
if you do it with certain types of peas, a 25-pound bag, if you can even find it, would probably cost you $250. But these are field peas, so they're just basic peas to get your shoots off of.
So what we've got here is this is a 5-pound bag. This is actually my shelling peas that I'm going to be having.
And this would likely do a family all year long.
Yeah.
If you're just going through, I'm going to say even if you was only going through a tray every week or two, this would probably get you through the whole year.
This one is a pound. So there's not, a whole lot. That probably was close to
half a pound, maybe.
Yeah, half a pound is what we used. So that would probably do 4 trays if you sewed them as heavy as what we did. So, and then your other option is, and these are definitely options. These are actually some we've had over the years that I'm still using.
Some given to us by suppliers because they just needed to get rid of them.
I know I've got pea shoots in here, I think somewhere. But, you've got your little small packages. So this is probably going to do a couple trays. This is actually one I'm going to do the next little bit, but it's sunflower seeds.
We may sow those tonight.
Yep, and then let's see if I've got. Aha!
Sunflowers are very dense in nutrients, so they make a nice addition to any meal. Now I tell you something more. I like sprouts. I'm not a big sprout fan except for the pea shoots, but somewhere I like sprouts is my eggs. I love to cook my eggs and put sprouts on top of them and salsa or hot sauce.
So this one is a bean mix. So you've got actually a lot of lentils in there, but you've got a few little peas. So that's definitely an option.
Those go real well on eggs.
Those are real good. Now you will, if you use them as shoots, which will not be in our trays with soil, but that's actually in one of our just growing trays that's for shoots. You get a big crunch with those. Some people don't like that. But that's most likely what we're going to do with those. So there's a lot of different options. You don't have to buy a big bag like this.
Nope. You can work up a pack like that. Like Tiffany said, this is 40 grams, which is, I was looking, Johnny's a lot of times puts grams and pounds. They didn't on that one.
Yeah.
So I don't know my grams off the top of my head, so I can't tell you that. But you can go with a small pack like this if you just want to practice and play around, see what you think about it. Or you can step on up to the pound. A pound of peas is quite a bit. And, maybe it's just you. Maybe you don't even want to do a germination tray that's that big. Maybe you want to do something smaller. And, it's a little more work to do it in smaller batches. But if it's just you or just you and one person, it may not pay for you to do a whole seedling tray to do that. You may want to do something small. You may want to do it like I did. You may want to use something like this, and you may want to sow half of it in peas and the other half in another type of sprout.
Yeah.
Or a third, and a third. It's and of course they make smaller. You may want to get Tiffany, get one of our 4-packs. I think there's a stack of them over there. You just bring the whole stack over if you want to. But the little 4-packs, like what your vegetable seedlings come in a lot of times. Cabbage, broccoli comes in them. Sometimes you can get tomatoes in them, and so on and so forth. But you can sow these in those and do the same thing. And maybe you just want a few. So you can take one of these little rectangles and do the same thing we did. Put a little bit of soil on the bottom, and then spread your peas across the top. And you're ready to go. It's going to germinate the same. You keep it dark until it germinates and moist. You ain't wanting to flood this in water, but you want it nice and moist. And when it germinates, set it up in a windowsill. If you got a fluorescent light, it's even better. If you've got a plant light, that's even better. Everything you do just makes it better. But there's options. You don't have to spend a fortune if you don't want to. You can use these. You can recycle these. I advise to sanitize them because you don't know what the other person that grew in them put in them unless you bought them new. Then you kind of know. But you can sanitize and work with that. There's lots of ways to grow your own food at home. And that's what we're trying to help you do here on this channel. And we realize not everybody can grow their own food. Not everybody wants to grow their own food. But that's also why we sell the food. So people can get local produce that has not been sprayed with all these nasty chemicals. And it's just what we live. We didn't start this as a business. We started this as a
lifestyle change. Yep.
Yeah, we wanted to change in our life. It really, I tell you, it really started out of, and we'll tell the whole story at some point, but it really started as a necessity to be closer to work and closer to the school system we wanted our kids in. So we bought the farm because I grew up on acreage, quite not like 1,000 acres, but acreage, and so we sold our house in a subdivision and we bought a farm. So this started as a lifestyle choice, but chickens started as a hobby, and they're going back to a hobby. We've enjoyed them for years, but we've decided we're going to push more into the produce. But we originally went down this route of turkeys because nobody at the time sold a turkey that my wife or daughter could eat because they inject them with wheat or corn for flavor. And they're both allergic to wheat, and my wife's quite allergic to corn if it isn't fully organic corn, and then growing conditions matter. And then my daughter's somewhat allergic to corn, and my son is allergic to wheat also. So I got 2 daughters that ain't, and I'm not, so sorry for them, good for us. But we started growing turkeys so they could have turkey for Thanksgiving. It was a lifestyle need. We could eat something beside turkey, but we wanted turkey. So we started growing turkeys ourselves on the farm. Well, that led into, I had always gardened and grown tomatoes and peppers, but it led into, well, let's grow this. And then it was, let's grow that. And well, I'd love to try this and I'd love to try that. So then we started growing so much, we got addicted to it, and we started doing the farmer's market and on-farm sales, and it's just escalated from there to now. This is what we want to do full time. We call ourselves homesteading with a twist. We live right on the edge of the city, but we are in the city limits. We have just under 6 acres. We call it 6 acres, but it's barely under 6 acres right in Johnson City, Tennessee. So we are in East Tennessee, zone 6B/7A.
This year they've changed it again to 7A.
Yeah, and some years it's 6B, some years it's 7A.
We plan on 6B because that's our safe
And I can
zone.
tell you that on our farm, our primary field that we grow our crops in is 6B.
Yeah.
It sits in the bottom of the valley, and it's not that we're in a big valley, but it sits in the bottom of the valley, and it's near a stream. So if you know anything about that, you get water off of that. So that primary field is 6B. It's not 7A. But where the house sits and our upper orchard is 7A.
Yeah.
We get the warmer temperatures, and so it just, we have to learn that when we grow stuff. We have figured out our tomatoes don't like the field. And I think it's just the fact that the nights get about 5 degrees cooler down there, and the days are usually around 5 degrees cooler, and it's just enough that the tomatoes that are planted elsewhere do better. So that's all stuff you want to learn. That's all this whole video is about. We'll shoot a video sometime and tell y'all where we're at and what we are and why we do what we do. But this was just so you can see how to grow these sprouts. Now, be sure to like and subscribe to this video. It helps us bring this to you, and it helps us know if you like this video. That helps also. But subscribing helps. But it helps us know what you all like and what you want to see more of. And of course, the better the channel does, the better ability we have to do more for this channel. The more subscribers we get, the better chance we got of using better equipment. Right now, we shoot these on our phone. We've got pretty nice phones, but it's a phone. It's limited. So as we progress, we'll do something better for you. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you. God bless you, and have a wonderful day. All right. We are here with our second part of this series. Now, we're going to post all these at one time for you. The first part was a little bit bigger, but this is our pea shoot video. Now, pea shoots is new for us. We have grown pea shoots. We did it in the single cells. And this was pea shoots in a germination tray. So, something we learned, we did the pea shoots and put them on top of, we tried it 2 ways, on top of a bed of dirt, a germination mix, and didn't put no soil on top. Found out it's hard to keep them watered that way. So I didn't like that. We also did the peas straight in the bottom and put a little bit of germination mix on top of that. I didn't like that as much either because the roots went straight out the bottom of the tray immediately. So this time around after we do these, we will do a mix of the two. We're going to use less peas in a tray. This was too dense, as you can see. It's like a hedge. So we're going to use less peas. And we are going to put a thin layer of dirt on the bottom of the germination tray, and then we're going to put a thin layer of peas across that with a thin layer of dirt on top of that. And so that right there, I think, will give us the results that we're looking for. But as you can see, I hope you can see, now the difference here is this one didn't grow as much. Now that's probably because of the light that it was under. These were under three different lights technically. And none of these have had any fertilizer added to them. The germination mix has no fertilizer in it. So this is completely growing off the water and the nutrients in the water. So we're getting ready to do a cut. We've got 5 2-ounce packages sold at our local online market. We probably could have sold a whole lot more, but we did not want to oversell, this being our first time working with this. Yep. There's nothing worse than selling 10 packages and having to call 2 people and tell them you didn't have enough. So we're going to be eating pea shoots with our salads this week and on maybe our eggs. Or if I thought about that,
Asian dishes.
Yeah, Asian dishes. If I thought about it, I made us some eggs and fried apples and stuff this morning. I could have put pea shoots on the eggs. That would have been excellent, but I didn't think about it. So anyway, so we're going to do some cutting here and let you see roughly how much we get. Now, we're not cutting these all the way down, and I'm not being exact. I'm going through and I'm going to cut these at roughly the next to bottom leaf. And and drop a few while I'm at it. Now we got a sterilized pair of Fisker's garden scissors. We just sterilized them with rubbing alcohol. Allowed them to air dry, which don't take long.
Oh, well, said 2 ounces and then it went back. There you go.
Okay, so this is what 2 ounces looks like of pea shoots. So that's enough pea shoots. You know, I'm going to be squeezing them together a little bit here to pick them up. But that is a bunch of pea shoots. If you've ever been to the grocery store and that was lucky enough to find pea shoots in the grocery store, it's usually like a 1/2 ounce or a 1 ounce package, and you're lucky if they look anywhere near as good as these. So we will be bagging these in our produce bags.
Now the way we do these is we put them in the bags. We gotta make sure there's plenty of air around there because your fresh greens need that room in there, and we try to leave a little bit of air in the bag. Thankfully, with these bags, we've got this perfect little air pocket in there. So there's our bag of pea shoots.
Some people only do one cut. They just cut it down and throw the tray out. But I think we're easily going to be able to get 2 cuts out of these as vigorous as they're growing. So our plans are to experiment with a 2-cut system. Now I know that worked with our last batch, but they wasn't as densely planted as these.
You are over 2 ounces.
I wasn't looking. Glad Tiffany was. Alright, Tiff, you got us a bag? So what I want to see is, it looks like we're going to get probably 5 out of 1 tray. And that's not cutting them short. We're leaving plenty there to work with. So it's looking like we're going to get 5. And these things are just delicious. If you've never had a pea shoot.
If you love those fresh spring peas, that's what a pea shoot tastes like. And it's very nutritious, just like peas. I'm not exactly for sure, but they're probably slightly more nutritious than what a pea is, because a lot of shoots and microgreens are. So we love them though, because it takes, usually around 50 days for you to get your first pea. And then
these pea shoots, by the way, we sowed these peas on February the 15th.
Yep.
And this is 11 days later. And it takes 10 days. These
you
guys
are over 2 ounces again.
Wow. These guys definitely would have been ready yesterday. So you can definitely figure on 10 days if you got optimal growing conditions. And we have these under LED lighting. And it has worked perfectly. Now, we will go through and clean out all the pea shoots that have fallen in here when we get done.
And I bet we'll eat on them.
Oh yeah. My second to oldest daughter, they'll all be home from school here in a little while, and I'll guarantee you, I know her, these pea shoots will not be safe. So, yes, we're going to possibly get 6 out of this tray, Tiffany.
Awesome.
This is all new for us, so we were experimenting with productivity. So you're getting to learn just as we're learning. That way we can't over-explain it or oversimplify it for you. You will have the same knowledge that we have. How many bags we got so far, Tiff?
We have 4. So it is probably going to be basically 5
It's going to pretty much be 5 bags per tray. Now, you might want to think, well, why don't you just leave the extra in there? And the reason is consistency. If I tell you I'm selling you 2 ounces, I need to be selling you 2 ounces. Or at least within 0.1. You know, we try to keep it right there at that 2 ounce mark. So, but now let's see. I'm going to pick up the scraps out of here. And just because we don't want nothing moldy or ugly in here, we don't want to be giving somebody next week less than quality products. And we will just put these back to the shelf. We did add a water reservoir underneath these at recommendations of Johnny's Seeds. And I don't think that would be necessary at all if you're only going to cut these one time. I see no point at all in the water reservoir if you're going to do a single cut. Because you can just water them daily, and as long as you don't have them in a hot environment, they seem to do just fine. Our house stays right around 65 degrees, and preferably a little cooler, but right around 65 degrees. You know, it's hard for me to weigh these when Tiffany's eating them as fast as I'm putting them in the bucket. But that's all right. We won't worry about it. I was just curious as to what was left over, because it looks to me like there's probably a ½ an ounce left over on this. So that is very, very good. Very good. Now, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to shut the video down. Don't get too long. We're going to go ahead and cut this tray back, but not as far as we did this one. And we'll just eat on what's left there. And then let this grow, because these can't continue to grow at that pace. So Tiffany, if you want to shut the video down. Hey, thanks for watching. Remember, this was 11 days. And we're refining our setup, and it's working very well. So we're looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out in the future. But right now, we got 5 packs out of 1 tray, and we did not cut them all the way down. We could have cut them all the way down and probably got another pack or 2. And so that's 5 2-ounce packages, and that's not bad for a little bit of lighting and shelf space.
And this is USDA certified organic produce. So
organic
fresh
peas and organic soil. Well, it's not soil, it's a germination mix.
Yeah.
And everything we've done is organic here. So
fresh food that is delicious and nutritious in 11 days or less.
So thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe. All right, this is the last part of our video series for the pea shoots. Now, you saw us go through and cut these in the other part, and this is, you can see the line where we cut, and then you can see the growth. So we have a massive harvest on the pea shoots again this week, and it's turned out very well. So, all right, now you know.